The education community is mourning the loss of Dr. Floyd Buchanan, who passed away last week. Dr. Buchanan served as the superintendent of Clovis Unified School District for 31 years. He had a tremendous impact on Valley schools. Earlier this year, the Fresno County Office of Education chose Dr. Buchanan to be honored for his outstanding contribution to academics. He'll be honored posthumously September 19th. Now, before his passing, Dr. Buchanan sat down for an interview with Education Matters reporter Juanita Stevenson. She joins us now with more on Doc's legacy. Juanita.
Well, we had the privilege of speaking with Doc Buchanan earlier this year. It was a wide-ranging interview where we talked about his life and 31 years as superintendent of the Clovis Unified School District. We had a wonderful conversation, and I learned a lot. Now, we would like to share with you the life and legacy of Dr. Floyd Buchanan in his own words.
I always told my kids, if I can make it, anybody could make it. Because I was born in a log cabin in the Ozark Mountains in 1924. I always say, I tease and say, me and Abe Lincoln started in a log cabin. He just ended up better than I did. My mother told me she had a second-grade education. My dad had an eighth-grade education. I never do anything, but my mother told me, you boys are going to college. So I got a half-tuition scholarship for playing in the band and a half-tuition scholarship for academics. Went off to University of Denver. Then I married the most wonderful person, and you guys may think your person's wonderful, but Molly and I never fought. I often wondered if I raised my kids in a sheltered environment because we didn't drink, we didn't smoke, and we didn't fight. And my wife wouldn't let me run with women that did. Well, I wanted to coach, and I found out if you wanted to coach, you had to be able to teach. So I went out and I got a job coaching and teaching, and he told me you have to have 20 units of education. Well, at that time, Cal was the #1 school of education in the world. So that's where I went, and I studied with the greatest guys ever. So I was walking down the hall, and everybody was congratulating me and calling me Dr. Buchanan. And one professor, Dr. Kite, they called him Mr. Principal. And he said, I want you to go down to a little school district in Clovis. I want you to be chief cook and bottle washer. So he sent me down here, and when I came, every school had 6 foot of wire around it, 3 strands of barbed wire, no turf. Then the first day that I was on the job at Clovis High School, I had all my maintenance crew out cutting down the fence from the water tower to the tennis courts. Next board meeting, it's loaded with old-timers saying, you're going to break us, they're going to tear up the school, this is terrible. And the president of the board let them chew on me for about 20 minutes. I said, can you folks tell me when I'm in the business of in education or incarceration? Once you tell me that, I'll know what to do with your fence. We had kids involved so much to keep them out of gangs. We kept them out of gangs by having these 4th and 5th graders involved in sports program, and the thing that helped was the fact that the parents started pitching in. It was my drug and my gang program, but turned out to be a pretty good athletic program too. And I wanted every kid to read, every kid to make it. Then the method and the content was up to the teachers, but the accountability was mine. People tell me I did some great things here. But then when I look at Lincoln and Washington, Ronnie Reagan, people that really did great things, I don't feel so great. Now, what I do think I accomplished, our kids now are all over the world running things, and they're helping out. And so I guess my legacy is in the kids that we've raised that are out there helping to run the world. and they're doing a great job.